American girls, American guys.
Coming home to their cats.
Sometimes they're coming home to a place
Creepy
like
eyes.
Walter Reid. And that's what we're going to talk about in round number 1. I think there's some quintessential lessons learned in this article. And I think every single person who was ever enlisted is going to listen to this and feel enraged, like just enraged, because we've talked about it a lot. The people that have been working in hospitals for this entire pandemic, awful, man. And working at Walter Reid, whereas the primary hospital with long-term injury and long-term recovery, combine that with the hospital here, BAMC here in San Antonio. Those are the 2 hospitals that are long-term recovery care. So working there, and I feel like you should get some perks. Like that should be one of the nicer spots, because you're going to see horrific things on a daily basis.
Physically draining day after day, and you need your off time to recover from that. You need your off time to recover from that, and that has not been possible here.
It hasn't at all. And this comes to us from the Navy Times. They did a great job. It used to be when I was in, there was a time period where you thought that the Marine Times and the Navy Times, Army Times were all like the mouthpiece of the branch.
Like a propaganda machine from
What they've been doing lately is showing no. Between what's happening at the border in Texas and Mexico and how the Army Times has really uncovered that, and now this story, it's very clear that they're taking the correct approach and looking after the troops, because somebody's got to. Kate, walk us through a little bit of what's happening at Walter Reid.
Yeah, and I'll say too, we've covered similar stories, shitty barracks, shitty base housing over and over, and I still felt fresh rage reading this one. This is,
and I think it's because of the commander that's there, and some of his responses just seem so unbelievably tone deaf in this article.
Hundreds of junior enlisted sailors and soldiers have gone for years without hot water in their barracks room aboard the Maryland Navy base that is home to Walter Reid National Military Medical Center.
Years, just outside the nation's capital. Years.
Not like, hey, it's just like busted up for a couple of weeks. Years.
Somebody who had a way less stressful job in the military, still one of the perks of my day was getting done PT at 05 and going to my hot shower. Having a hot shower is so important. Anyway, they've also been left to broil in barracks with broken air conditioning during humid mid-Atlantic summers, or been assigned rooms without working refrigerators, thermostats, or even locking doors, according to sailors who spoke with Navy Times. During a meeting, they had a town hall on Thursday about it. During that meeting, Naval Support Activity Bethesda's commanding officer, Captain Scott Switzer, encouraged affected troops to keep submitting trouble tickets for issues like hot water.
And just as a reminder for those not in the Navy or the Marine Corps, and for also Kate, captain in the Navy is an 06, which is the equivalent to colonel in the other ranks.
Yes. So who's that colonel, the famous one? He's in a movie. Yep. Thank you. Big deal. But he also admitted that those trouble tickets had been improperly handled before. So submit those tickets, but also I know that you guys know they don't do shit. LOL. We just discovered a problem with our reporting process from some of our people who were not taking care of these trouble tickets right away, and we screwed that up, Switzer said. He took command of the base in May 2021. The issues center around 2 barracks buildings housing nearly 500 junior service members, dubbed Comfort Hall and Sanctuary Hall.
Makes it so much more fucked up.
Oh, Comfort Hall and Sanctuary.
Makes it so much worse.
Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? A little too ironic. And yeah, I really do think. It's like no refridge and your food starts to rot. It's a lack of AC when the summer is hot. It's a bit of mold and a whole lot of cold. And who would have thought it figures? Captain Switzer, that's who
That's
knew
right.
the whole time.
Well done, Kate.
Thank you.
Well done. Alanis would be proud.
Thank you. Comfort Hall was
I will say that swallowing your vocals there was like a jagged little pill to the old throat.
Oh, got your goose. Comfort Hall was built in 1981, while Sanctuary Hall opened to occupants in 2014, according to base spokesman Jeremy Brooks. Both barracks are mostly occupied by, wait, can you guys guess?
I would say undersecretaries of defense.
Yeah, high-ranking commanding officer. Wait a minute, no, the peasants, the peons,
the boots,
the low-ranking Navy corpsmen and Army medical personnel who work.
Chief, this seaman doesn't have hot showers.
My door
or lock.
This because door doesn't lock.
Yes, peasants, low-ranking Navy corpsmen and Army medical personnel who work at the massive Walter Reid medical complex and who are, quite frankly, extremely needed and extremely fucking important. Those
Yeah,
who
don't get me wrong. Like the doctors are all very, very important, but I feel like these are the people that are keeping that place running day to day, doing all that obvious grunt work that needs to happen in a hospital that isn't
they're extremely
glamorous.
skilled. Yeah, it's crazy. Those who spoke with the Navy Times requested anonymity as they feared being punished for publicly speaking about their situation.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not new to living standards in the military, one corpsman said. I'm a military kid, lived in base housing, but this is just ridiculous. We're not in the field and we're not on a ship. There is no viable reason as to why we should be forced to live without basic qualities of life. One corpsman said the substandard living conditions affect not only morale, but mental health. I already work super long hours in a high
And this
demand.
is the part where I start to get fucking furious. Hearing from the actual sailors.
Same here. I already work super long hours in a high demand clinic with a huge patient volume, the corpsman said. We've been short staffed for a long time and there's no telework for us. It sucks to have to grit your teeth through a cold shower and go back to the grind. They call Walter Reid the corpsman killer, a corpsman noted. You come home after 10 to 12 hours and you can't take a shower after working in a hospital with constant germs. It doesn't feel like you're getting clean and we're in a pandemic. One corpsman said they had been assigned to Walter Reid for 19 months and that the water in Comfort Hall has been constantly cold. This to me, I'm a hot shower. I live in the fucking shower. I live there. It's my one little break a day where I just hang out in there. It's a hot, that is for real, a fucking morale crusher.
To his point though, like there's a reason we as a society, as a people take hot showers. And that's because the water works better when it's hot. It cleans you better when it's hot. It's not about just,
That's
comfort.
exactly right, Cons. That sounds like somebody who's done the dishes a time or two.
That's right.
You want to get that spaghetti off a plate, buddy. You better pipe that water.
Comfort Hall also went without air conditioning for several months last summer, and shipmates roasted in rooms reaching 95 degrees, which ironically made the cold showers a welcome reprieve.
And I hate this because this comes, like I used to live in that region of the country when I was in, and it's so infuriating because they're like, oh, we've already turned the heat off. The heat's on. We can't turn it back. Motherfucker, it's a switch. Like, just come down with the key, unlock it, flip it the other way so people aren't roasting their dicks and clits off.
Yeah, thank you for the including clits there. Base leadership, because it was so hot, base leadership put down cots in the lower floor common areas for troops seeking relief, but no one took them up on it. I wonder why. We talked about safety and stuff in the military. There's reasons why. Some said they expected
Not
a Walter
to mention those cots would be covered in cement.
Absolutely.
Semen.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Thank you. That's true. Don't go in there with a black light.
Exactly right.
Find a lot of sailors in there. Some said they expected a Walter Reid tour to be tough, with one recalling instructors at corpsman school telling them Walter Reid sucks and to be prepared. So this was notorious. Everybody knew it. Both corpsman and base leadership say the issues in comfort and sanctuary halls have existed for some time, and that leaders have previously promised fixes that never materialized. But the issue took on renewed urgency this week when one afflicted sailor posted about the problem on Reddit and had reached a breaking point.
And this kills me too, because it's like, why does it take public outcry to do the right thing? Why?
Right.
Like, they knew about it before.
Every
Why does
single
it take
leader,
that?
every single leader on that base, military and civilian, knew. Every single one of them, and they knew exact little details all the way to the bottom.
These junior troops should start sending us. If you've sent it in emails, send it to us. We'll publish it that they knew about it. Those motherfuckers. How dare you?
And this was the Reddit post. I understand that you're in the military, get over it mentality, but holy shit, I don't think a warm shower is a whole lot to ask for at a shore command that calls itself the flagship of naval medicine. What can I do to get this fixed? Or is my only option marrying a stripper to get out of the barracks? These aren't, and so this is what Switzer said.
Sorry for laughing, but that's terrible.
It's true. I mean, it's absolutely right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it sucks for them because there aren't as many male strippers for us to marry. It's just the facts. So Switzer says, these aren't excuses, folks. I just want you to understand what we sometimes have to deal with to make what seems to be an easy repair, Switzer said. It's not as easy as having the plumber come in and change out a valve or quickly fix a system. That's just our reality. Unfortunately, that's fucking bullshit. That's fucking dog shit bullshit. If you gave a single fuck about your corpsmen, about your soldiers, about anything, you would say full stop. We're fixing this right fucking now. I don't care if it costs $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, whatever. We're having people come in and fucking fix it. And you can fucking fix it. You're the fucking military. fucking
And you're
fix
the
it.
one that's in charge. You're the one that makes the calls. If you bring
Mhm.
your maintenance staff in, if you bring in the CBs or whoever the fuck actually does it, if you're like, you have 1 week to figure this out. Every single junior officer that reports to the captain here would be like, this is all we're focused on. If you get a directive, accomplish it in the next week, you move heaven and earth to get it done. It's never been a priority for them to do. Never.
Right.
And I don't give a fuck if they have to put these troops up in a hotel. I don't give a fuck what they have to do. If the
Well,
barracks
wait
are
until they
unusable,
actually have the captain give some actual examples of what he thinks could get
Yeah.
them through this
Oh, yeah.
obstacle.
One service member pushed back on suggestions that affected members just go shower somewhere else that has hot water. To be honest, so this is something he suggested. Why didn't you could go somewhere else? Okay, with all due respect, get fucked.
Mhm.
To be honest, sir, I just got here and I don't feel comfortable with using someone else's shower, a female service member said. We're all shipmates and everything, but it's a fine line with the privacy thing. I would just like to take a shower in my own room. I don't blame you, Switzer replied. A resident advisor for one of the barracks suggested working out in the morning and then showering at the gym. I don't know that those gyms have working hot water. I imagine they do, the RA said. They don't, several voices in the crowd offered.
I love this because you could picture what this like in like a battalion formation. Everybody sitting in a theater and the fold down music seats, and then they don't like. And then you have some chief or some first sergeant look over like, who the fuck said that?
Yeah,
I would say the rest, but we might get canceled.
One sailor said a sign at the gym indicates there's no hot water there either, which base officials confirmed to Navy Times. One attendee said he microwaves his water to shave.
Oh my God. Yes, that's a huge point because shaving with cold water
Fuck.
blows, man.
Ladies on that
Blows.
base, your legs got to be looking like
Looks like you
sheesh.
got Chewbacca in a headlock down there. My God.
Exactly. Yeah. The
Mhm.
gym is an option. The hospital is also an option, Switzer said. I don't have any other place that I own that I can use. What the fuck does that mean? So that's it. Those are the only two options you're giving them right now. Sir, you better open up your house and give shower hours then.
Mhm.
Fucking if you care about
Actually, don't. That's a terrible idea.
yeah, that's
This is disappointing too because
open door policy over here in my bathroom. Come on in.
Why is everyone doing gymnastics at the captain's house? This is fucking weird.
Yeah.
The recurring theme throughout the article is that it's like, oh, we just accept it, that this is just the way it is in the military. We need to stop just accepting that this is just something that we deal with in the military, because this is a basic.
Listen, private,
No.
you want a hot shower, you do like the military before you. You take your ass down, you sign up for $10 at Planet Fitness, and you work out there without setting off the lunk alarm. It's that easy.
This
Right.
every single time though, without fail, that I read the comments on a story like this, and there's endless stories about shitty barrack, shitty base housing, or anytime we post about it, there are at least 10 guys from who served in 1987 in the comments going, well, when I was in, I wasn't
Brain
a pussy.
damage 62.
Yeah, I wasn't a pussy who cared about cold showers, you little bitch. It's like, shut the fuck up, dude. I know if you were in, you'd be crying all day about it. Whatever. Anyway, one said, sir, I just really wanted to reiterate the transparency you mentioned earlier, one sailor noted. I've been here for a minute and kind of had these meetings before. And then after these meetings, we're still left in the dark. I know we're just little E3s and E4s, the sailor added. You're not just little E3s and E4s, Switzer replied.
Oh, you little babies. You're not
You're
just
little
E3s
babies.
and 4s.
You're little peasants, and don't you forget it. I could stick my boot up every single. Oh, wait, no. There is perception out there, and I get this too, that you don't trust senior people. You don't trust officers, Switzer said. You get to be the E3 that holds the 06 accountable. Oh, this is a
See,
cool
all
guy.
that shit
Cool
is
guy.
just like you're saying it.
But
Just
it doesn't mean
do.
shit.
Just do.
Yeah.
As the meeting
Yeah.
progressed, a female service member noted that the lock on her room door broke and she was concerned for her safety. Another female service member told Navy Times that several sailors have had issues with their door locks not working. That is so, you can't fix that, Switzer. You can't just say,
That's just
hey,
not as easy as having a couple PVC pipes out there, Kate. You got to think. You got to go to like HomeDepot.com or Amazon, and you got to order these damn locks. You know how long that takes? Like 3 seconds. It's a
and
long
I
time.
understand that military bureaucracy is insane and that ordering a lock to fix a door probably does take 15 steps that are a pain in the ass. This is where a real leader says, that's bullshit. I'm going to Home Depot myself. I'm buying this shit and I'm fixing the locks.
Yeah,
this is where you bypass
that's not
that shit.
sustainable, and he shouldn't have to do that. He should just bypass everything. And because I think with a lot of this stuff too, it's not a case of just ordering somebody who is in the unit who's responsible for maintenance. This probably does have to go out to some sort of civilian.
Well, it's usually
contractor.
civilian. Yes.
Right. So, and I understand there's a process there. So, hey, sir,
figure it out.
Your duty to figure out this process and get all the paperwork pushed through, because we're talking about hot water and locks. We're not talking about asking you to move heaven and earth. We're talking about some basics for on post housing. And if we want to hold our military to a certain standard and tell everyone how great our military is, which it is, well, then we should be able to take care of some very basic needs here.
Yeah. I just think the Manning thing, Walter, the work that these troops are doing is so impressive and so mentally and physically taxing that I just cannot believe they're being treated this way.
I got a note from
insane.
one of the folks that's actually living there now. And he said that they knew things were different this time because they all had to move out of their barracks. So they give people like 24 hours notice, 48 hours notice that they're moving barracks. Everybody has to pack up. They said that they have the floors almost segregated, like in a way where they have like the people who are, because in these barracks, folks that were wounded in action are living in these barracks too. Like the ones that don't need constant the ones that don't need constant care and like in the ICU or things like that, but are almost in like the barracks halfway house, like kind of thing where you're getting ready to go back to your unit. They live there. They're all on one floor. Then you have people that work in the hospitals that are on another floor. They actually had like senior chiefs and master chief petty officers out there helping the sailors move rooms. In order to have a fucking E9 or E8 out there helping move rooms and not just yelling at people to do it, they know that PP is about to get slapped because they have these articles coming out. You do not want to be shamed because this type of thing, if it gets out and they can prove that he knew it, or an IEG investigation proves that the commanding officer knew it, that is not a way to get promoted in today's military. No, it is just not. Like if you have all these people making these stinks, and this is what you should do, like junior sailors like this, and everyone essentially. We've never really had the outlet of social media now, but we want to advocate for you. If this is something that's going on, we want you to let us know because we will talk about it. We will make a stink and I'll tag the PAOs wherever you're at and get it fixed. Like we want to help. So send us into our DMs, our emails. If you got a serious fucked up situation. Now, listen, if somebody's not letting you carry an umbrella around, I'm going to be like, kudos. I'm not going to remove all the staff NCO from myself, but I will help you if you actually need it. And this is one of those times. Like, come on.
This is really important too, to point that out, chaps, because for all these officers and these high ranking folks that don't live in these barracks, when it's not top of mind, it just is not something you concern yourself with. So you have to make it so it's
and very
top
much
of mind
I did this myself type of situation so they can deal with it too.
Cons, when you were an officer, like how in tune were you with?
Not at all. I didn't know about how like barracks were all jacked up all the time until I really started talking to you two guys, honestly, because my soldiers they've never brought it to me. So I just never heard about these complaints.
Because honest to God, it's not even really an officer issue. Like the health and welfare belongs to the senior NCOs, and that's who is wrong. Because officers, unless you were an enlisted person before, you really have zero idea. And how could you? Like,
I disagree. I think if you're an officer and it is part of your job because you're following up on you're in charge of the senior enlisted. It's on you to do checks and balances on that shit. To go.
I don't think so.
Because all the time,
as a staff NCO, I'd be furious if that's something that he got involved with. Furious.
If he started putting his nose in there.
It's well known. It is well known that senior staff NCOs, like they whitewash everything and make it seem better for the higher up. So life's better for them. Like, I'm sorry if
I understand what you're saying, Kate. And it's definitely not wrong to have trust, but verify, like where you're like quarterly, I'm going to go by and I'm going to do an inspection on the barracks and make sure that everything's fine. I'm not going to be there every single field day. I'm not going to be there every month, but occasionally I'm going to step in because I need to see too. Like I have zero problem with that. But if you're involved every day, not
every day. But if I was commanding officer, I would carry I'd come on a Saturday around like evening when the kids are starting to drink in the smoke pit. I have a skateboard over my shoulder, sunglasses, fake mustache. Hey, fellow E2s, how's the barracks hanging?